Here we go, folks. We are back. Welcome in, everybody, to the MLS Live podcast on Sports Profit TV. As always, we are here for a season finale, talking MLS playoffs round two with my guy Garrett. Welcome in, welcome back, brother.
Yeah, what's good, man? It's good to be back. Doing this one final time this season. It's been a good year. I mean, like we usually do pretty well in the show, and so I'm happy again with how it's gone, and hopefully we can finish out on a strong note.
100%, man. It's been a blast as always. I will say I feel like we're down to our final 8 teams here, and I close to the best 8 teams in Major League Soccer. So gonna be fun getting into these.
Oh yeah.
All right. We will go ahead and jump into our first game on the docket. We are talking Vancouver Whitecaps hosting LAFC, and Garrett, lead us off with this one.
Yep. So 4 games, 4-game show. We'll see how many picks we get on each game, but I'm going to start here with both teams to score plus over 2.5 in a do or die match. I just think these two teams match up well for how they want to play from an offensive standpoint. Vancouver has been much more open here the second half of the season going into the playoffs. We've seen what LA has done since Sun arrived with Bouanga. Everybody's coming off international break. Brian White has been back and practicing. Gauld has been getting up his fitness up for Vancouver. It just feels like a good time to back goals here, where I don't think LA is going to be able to be super conservative. But I do think they get to play how they want to play, which is on the counterattack. I think Vancouver is going to have the possession here, and it is tough. This is the hardest game for me to pick a side in for this weekend, because I think whoever wins this game goes to the final.
Yeah.
And so it sucks that we're getting this matchup here in the conference semis with 2 more games still to go after this. But great game. This is going to be the game I'm looking forward to the most this weekend. And I think both teams to score plus over 2.5 at a nice minus 109 looks to be in the cards for me.
Yeah, I'm on this too. Just to shoot you straight, there's only 4 games here. I found myself pretty much aligned with most of your picks. Since I produce the show, I have the pleasure of seeing Garrett's picks before the show. He doesn't always get to see mine. But I did find myself very much aligned in this game in particular. I love both teams to score for a parlay piece. I like the over 2.5 if you don't mind the juice, and I definitely like the both teams to score plus the over 2.5. So I'm going to use this game on my next pick. But it also uses the next game, which is FC Cincinnati hosting Inter Miami. So I'll lead us off on this one. I'm going to use the both teams to score from Vancouver and LAFC, and I'm going to combine that with Miami's double chance for a plus 121. Look, this is another game that's going to be a great atmosphere. It's going to be a great environment. Cincinnati, made some moves, bringing in Brenner. And I think Orejano should be back starting for this one as well. So this is a good Cincinnati team, but I do feel like they've kind of overperformed. They've had a lot of Evander magic this year, and I just think I said it last week before the Nashville game. It just feels like Messi's got that game face on, and nothing is going to stop these guys. So I'm kind of riding the Messi vibes right now and the Messi revenge tour for the MLS Cup playoffs here, and I don't see them losing. So I'm going to use their double chance. Combine that with my favorite parlay leg, which is Vancouver and LAFC, both teams to score, and get a nice plus 121. And you got one more on this one. I've got another one on this game. But what do you think of this look, Garrett?
No, I like finding ways to back Miami with the least amount of risk here. The double chance definitely accomplishes that. We all know I like both teams to score in Vancouver. So I think this goes hand in hand with where I see the game going. So I get no issues. I think, yeah, now this game, I'll just roll into mine. I think this game could actually trip people up. It is the highest total on the weekend, and I think it is the most likely to have the under come in and cash. Am I brave enough to play the under? What is it, 3.25, 3.5? No, I am not. But um, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to take the first half under 1.5. Uh, Kind of a juicy -138, but I think this game is going to start off very slow. In a winner take all, Miami on the road. I think we're going to try. Miami just is going to try to not get sucker punched early, is what I think is going to be the case. They want to survive that first, since he's going to have the atmosphere, since he's going to push. And I think you just want to survive that first 20, 25 minutes of the match and get settled in. And if they can do that, I think this under comes in the first half. The second half, I think all bets are off, especially if Miami has a lead going into halftime. Since he's going to push, and Miami can definitely take advantage of that. But for me, this is all like, since these guys have to perform. If they don't, the whole team struggles. I mean, we saw that versus the matchup with Columbus, where it was Brenner. It was Brenner in that last game, 2 goals in the second half that were the difference in an otherwise pretty even match between Cincy and Columbus. So since these guys have to come through, they're built around those 3 dudes. This is the only time that these 3 dudes are going to be together as far as like this playoff run. I don't see a way they keep these 3 guys together going into next season. So you've got to put all your chips into the middle of the table now. And so I just think that's going to cause Miami to just kind of hang back for a little bit. They've been kind of slow starters in the first half in these playoffs we've seen. Now, that doesn't mean the other team hasn't jumped on them. They've had a couple of games where their opponent jumped on them pretty early and they had to battle back. But with this one, no other leg. This is just it. It is just here, and you try to move on to the conference finals. I do. I think this is a game that's going to trip people up, and I'm trying to get some under action here. And I think the first half is the best way to do that.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I like the take on the first half. I think it's going to be a slow start as well. These teams have played twice this season, once before in the FC Cincinnati. There were less than 2 overall combined XG in that game. That was a game that Cincinnati won 3-0. Not so much for that reason. I mean, that will be a little bit in the back of Miami's head, but I think you're right. I think this is a fairly careful start. I think Cincinnati obviously is going to be very respectful of Messi and their weapons too. And I'll just segue right into my pick in this one. You said you weren't brave enough to take the under 3.25, but I am. I'm taking the under 3.25. So we're double dipping here on this game on the under. Immediately when I saw this line, I'm right there with you. I was like, 3.25 for this game. I don't see it. I mean, I know obviously, we say that now and Messi scores a hat trick, but I'm not seeing that this one. I think it is a slow start. Plenty of feeling out for this one. So I like your look. I like the under in general. And I'm actually going to say 2-0 Miami. That's going to be my pick for this one.
Yeah, I think it's low. I mean, 2-0's up there. I could see a 1-0. I could see it being 0-0 pretty late, and Miami gets one in the second half. So yeah, I do like the under here.
Sweet. All right, and we move on to Philadelphia hosting NYCFC, and you are the only one that has a pick for this game, although I do like your pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap this game 2 different ways. One, I'm gonna take Philadelphia in the money line just straight up at -114, just for my normal play. But I also like Philadelphia plus the under 3.5 at like +188, and I think you tap that for half of what you normally play, which is what I'm doing here. it's just too good of a price for me not to take advantage of it. Um, Bad news for NYCFC is they lost Alonso Martinez. They lost their striker. They lost their striker during the international window, torn ACL. So he's out for the playoffs, out for most of, if not all of 2026. Just really a heartbreaking situation, man, because that dude really made that attack click. I'm not saying New York's cooked. With we know we like Nico Wolf's there. They've got guys who can contribute, but it ain't the same. They're also going to be missing. Just lost it. Where did he go?
What was that?
They're also going to be missing Aiden O'Neill. That I wouldn't say Aiden Morse so bad. I'm like, I know Aiden Morse is not on NYC.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Neill, the Australian, he's played really good for them there in midfield. He is suspended, so you won't have him. Big part of that midfield missing. And so this is just a great spot for Philly, in my opinion, with New York missing who they're missing, having to make up for that in the striker department when they don't really have a lot of great options up top after their starter. So yeah, Philly here. I was actually surprised to see the money line for Philly where it is. I'm not a big fan of backing the Supporter Shield winners in the playoffs. They always tend to have a letdown at some point. I'm just not sure it's here. I feel like the letdown comes in the conference finals versus Miami, if Miami gets through, obviously. So yeah, I think this is a Philadelphia spot. So yeah, this is going to be where this game's going to have my most exposure on the weekend, where I'm tapping this game two different ways. It's just a spot for Philly, man, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is my favorite of the favorites on the entire 4-game slate. I think Philadelphia potentially even, I could see them running away with this one if they score an early goal. I think NYC struggles. Not having Alonso Martinez is absolute gut shot for NYC. I mean, that's tough, and I know that's part of your handicap on the money line plus the under 3.5, just because the lack of firepower, obviously, because Martinez will just, I mean, sometimes he'll score a goal out of nothing. So not really, you don't really have that anymore with him. Nico's good, like you said, but still not going to be the same attack. And Philadelphia, just they're so well coached. They're going to be ready. One less guy for them to worry about. So I'm with you. Again, I think they're my favorite of the favorites on the 4-game slate, and I think it's a good price. So
now, what I think you will see, let's say Philly goes up early. I don't think you see New York panic. They're hyper conservative on the road as it is.
Yeah.
And so they'll be just waiting for their opportunity to break, to try to get it back to 1-1. I mean, I fully expect NYC to be playing for PKs here. Try to get it to extra time. If they can't, get if they can't steal it, then to get to PKs. I think they know they're at a disadvantage here. And so I expect New York to be super conservative this entire match.
Cool. I like it. All right. Last game of the weekend, we head to San Diego hosting Minnesota United. And we both have plays on this game. I'll let you start us off on this one, and then I've got 2 more to end the show on this game.
Yeah, it's San Diego. They're a goal machine, and I'm just going to keep riding that train with the over. Minnesota is a side that I think if they go down early, will get a little too spread, kind of out of their normal rhythm. But also Minnesota can stretch a field and score on their own. And this San Diego defense, I don't love it. Like, there's nothing special about it, in my opinion. And so I think you got the potential here for goals. The problem is I could see it being 4-0 or 2-2. Like it's hard to really nail both teams and getting involved and seeing what they're going to do. But I do like goals here, just with San Diego in general. I mean, the attack is just fun to watch. Dreyer, man, it took Messi having the season he's gonna have to kind of keep Dreyer away from the MVP, which is unfortunate because that dude crushed. And then Minnesota can contribute. I don't think Minnesota is just dead in the water here by any means. But they are going to have to score if they want to get out of here.
100%. I'm with you here. I think both teams absolutely can contribute. But I'm taking a little different approach here. I'm actually going to back Minnesota. I've actually had this spot circled, +1 being playable. I think that the way Minnesota sets up on the road, this is a really good road team. Like these guys are good on the road, especially of late. And they just went to San Diego towards the end of the year and got a full 3 points. They won 3-1 at San Diego. I just think they're set up nicely on the counter, with a team like San Diego who is wide open. And, they're going to be on the front foot for sure. I think that that's dangerous against Minnesota. And I think Minnesota had a much more difficult matchup against Seattle stylistically last week. I really wasn't sure if they were going to make it out of that series. But here they are, and I like this spot for them. So I'm gonna back them +1 just to be safe, and then I'm gonna sprinkle a half unit on Minnesota to advance here. I know San Diego's been really good, expansion team. Been really fun, but I think this is a really tricky matchup for San Diego, and um, I think the money line being juiced the way it is, like the odds being set the way they are, is just it's a little bit cookie cutter, and I don't really think it's indicative of how these teams actually match up. So, yeah, a little sprinkle on Minnesota to advance and a full unit on the +1.
Yeah, San Diego's money line surprised me. I didn't expect them to be that big of a favorite. And so like it just totally turned me off from anything going on the San Diego side. I don't mind +1. It's a playoff match. You got to think it's going to be competitive and close. And I tell you what, man, there's not one team coming into this weekend's matches with more confidence and less fear than Minnesota after being able to pull off what they did in Seattle, down a man, score 2 goals, get it to PKs, and then end up taking it. Like, yeah, there's not a team who's playing with less fear than Minnesota right now.
100%. Yeah, they've been fun. I will say if they sneak past San Diego, I do think it's the end of the line at that point. But I think this is a winnable situation for Minnesota, more so than the odds would
Also,
say.
it sounds like Chucky's still in the doghouse. I don't think
Weird.
I don't think he's going to start. I think you see him play, but I don't think he's going to start, which is just
Odd.
super interesting. Like that, I mean, it's a it's a gutsy call by the coach. Like you're going to keep your locker room in check until that doesn't work. And if San Diego dropped the ball hard here, and you didn't start your marquee player, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one to explain. I mean, he is the face of the franchise, and yeah, like you said, man, if if he plays 45 minutes in this game, and they lose, that's a
I,
tough
I
one.
don't I don't have the details of the altercation. I just know it happened when he got subbed almost over a month ago now, maybe even a month and a half ago, and just bled into the locker room. But whatever went down, like it was obviously not good for you to still be in the doghouse now. Like, so we'll see.
Right. And I mean, I would say, I mean, I don't know the details either, but honestly, man, like if it's squashed, it's got to be squashed. Let the guy like stop. At this point, it's just lingering. Like if you still have him, you can play a couple minutes here, maybe like if it's squashed, it needs to be squashed because that's not healthy for the team, in my opinion. But guess what? I'm not backing him. I'm backing Minnesota, so even better. All righty. All right, folks. Well, quick 4 game preview with lots of picks. We looked at it and we said, oh, maybe we won't have that many picks, but we found a way as we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 show picks. A couple of those half unit value shots in there as well. Garrett, anything?
No, man, I'm hoping for a good weekend. It should be some good action. Big news. on the MLS front, where MLS will transition to a European calendar in the 2027
Oh yeah.
season. So a quick turnaround. We've got one more year of basically March to honestly December, March to
Yeah.
December soccer before we turn it around and go July to May. Um, so interesting times. It's going to be weird here compared to some other countries, just with how big we are and the climate we deal with. We're going to have an extended winter break, just because you will have teams playing in snow like otherwise. And so it's going to be a weird transition, but I do think it's better for the league long term. So it'll be weird, doing something like this, and but you'll have now full slates of soccer, right? Like if you live in the US, you'll have, European soccer in the morning, MLS in the evening. It's a full day. So I look forward to it, man.
100%. Yeah, I know you're a fan of it. I'm definitely open to being uh, convinced. I'm not convinced either way. To be honest with you, I don't have a real strong opinion about it. I've seen some strong opinions about it. Um, I did see you made a point though that made a lot of sense to me. You said soccer fans are soccer fans, like because somebody said, then you got to compete with American football, and you're like, no, these people, like, soccer fans are soccer fans. There's obviously some crossover, but
Mhm.
I think you're right, especially in the United States. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. World Cup, is months away, so we'll have to
I think
navigate through
like
that.
200 in a handful of days.
Yeah, I'm excited, very excited. Oh, good time to ask you. I know the U.S. men's national team has been on a little heater. Are you warming up to Pochettino a little bit or what?
No, no. Listen,
No.
listen. We got to see how it shakes out. But I'm still like, don't give me the USA to get grouped at a good price.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Here's the thing, man. The guys playing right now, they're hungry. They got stuff to show. They're also, most of them are MLS guys, so most of them are very fit. Like they've been playing all season, right? We don't see that same hunger when we bring in the better talent, right? Like, and so you can take, the best guys who, in my opinion, don't play as hard as they maybe should, or don't play with just a type of hunger that I think you have to have, because I think they're used to CONCACAF being kind of cushy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just Canada and Mexico. Like those are your two opponents. It's not like UEFA where you've got, you know, all these countries competing, and they're all good. And so I think they're not used to, like, the quote unquote dark arts that you see in CONCACAF, the bad fields, the time wasting, stuff like that. And it bugs them. But these hungry guys, they're not going to compete with these top nations like at all. Like they're not doing that. It was our B team, but it wasn't Uruguay starters by any means.
Right.
And so, no,
That's true.
I don't have any hope really for this U.S. national team. I think Poch is missing the marks on so many levels that it's not even funny. Like
Mm,
your job as a national team coach, especially for somebody like the U.S., your primary job is to hunt talent, dual nationals, stuff like that. Like get the guys in to us, what the rest of the CONCACAF teams are doing, and we've seen it with Suriname, Curacao. Like
yeah.
all these teams are bringing in talent that from guys who can't make it in their preferred nations, right? Netherlands, France, stuff like that. And so they're coming and they're actually playing well in CONCACAF, and it's getting these teams qualified for the new expanded World Cup. We're not doing that. We are
Right.
depending still on this MLS farm system, which you're talking to one of the biggest fans of the MLS there is, right? Like I love the league. It is not churning out national stars. Like that's not what it's going to do. Um, and so it is a great farms league for Europe. Like that's the goal. Come ball out in MLS, make
Right.
it over to Europe. It's becoming the farm league for the whole Western Hemisphere, not just for American players. But I mean, like Inter Miami is literally turning into little Argentina. Like they're just bringing in all the youth guys and just churning them back out into Europe. Gomez pops the head, right? Like he goes to Brighton for a nice fee, and
Yeah.
when he gets playing time, plays well, and that's what you're hoping for. So it just, yeah, I'm not, no, Poch doesn't do it for me, man. Like he's going, he's recruiting like Lucho Acosta, right? Who couldn't even make it in the MLS anymore. Instead of like going and trying to find these up and coming guys for the future. Like, okay, we've got 2026 set, we've got 2030 set, but what about 2034? Like
Yeah.
38, like what those guys.
Right.
So it just, no, he doesn't do it for me, man. I think these results are nice, but I think that's what you get when you play hungry guys. But these hungry guys, their ceiling is definitely there, and you're not going to go far in a World Cup with those guys.
Yeah, that's a good analysis. The only thing I will offer offer into the discussion would be, first question I would ask is, or I will say, if we believe, which maybe we do, maybe we don't. I think I do. Pochettino is a better game manager, tactical guy than Berhalter was. If we believe that, the talent is going to play balls to the walls in the World Cup because it's the World Cup. So like you're not going to question hunger, you're not going to question motivation once you're there. So like if he's better, about getting the most out of the team at the World Cup, if he's an upgrade coaching wise, just pure coaching, then maybe we're a little better than we were last time.
I mean, we should be better. The talent is better. Like your best guys are entering their prime, right? Like that's like everyone should be better than we were 4 years ago. I don't think it's from a game management standpoint. I don't think it's incredibly difficult to get better than Berhalter. Like Berhalter had a very set system that he was going to run, and that's what he was going to run.
Yeah.
Poch has been changing it up a little bit. I don't know if he's trying to find something he likes or is just trying to play with the names he's calling up, because I can't make rhyme or reason of the guys he's calling up like on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why Tillman's getting called up. Like
Makes no sense.
I don't understand it. He played good against Uruguay, but like I don't know why that guy's getting called up compared to other guys, right?
Yeah.
So
Max.
yeah, is Poch an upgrade over Berhalter? Probably. But I can't. You got to understand though, like my dislike for Poch goes all the way back to Spurs, where look at the Spurs team he had when he was there.
Loaded.
All those guys before they entered their prime. Look at where all those guys are at now, right? Those were all studs. Like that was a stacked young team.
Yeah.
And he didn't win anything with them.
Right.
And like it's just that's always like and yet everybody like seems to like really like this guy and thinks he can coach. And I'm like, what has he actually won?
Right.
So that's my rant on Poch.
Fair enough. It's definitely some good points. I always enjoy talking to you about the national scene because I'm not quite as engaged in it, but
now the young guns, US-17, US-19, those guys are interesting.
Yeah, good stuff for sure. I sent you one the other day that really blew me away. It was a very short highlight film, but a guy, young kid from Philadelphia Union. He's got some real talent. The way he moves on the ball, haven't seen very often from anybody, and from our country. So, all right, folks, that's gonna do it for us. I'm gonna run and get a hamburger or something because I'm hungry. But there you go. 9 official show picks for MLS round 2. And until next season, we will put out, officially, whether this is our last show or not for the season, on the Twitter. And we will keep everybody updated as we go. But yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Gary, if you got any closing remarks, go for it.
No, as I've always appreciate y'all. I do. I appreciate y'all all the time. Thank you for tuning in, for engaging. It's the whole reason why I do this. I don't make any money doing this, like the show and stuff. This is just for fun. And I love the engagement. I love talking footy. Uh, Cooper, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. Let me come on, every week and talk MLS with you. It's a lot of fun, dude. And so just thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Garrett. It's been a ton of fun, and we'll see you guys next year.
See you guys.